The spirit of conflict. Weapons are the tools of violence. All decent men detest them. Weapons are the tools of fear. A decent man will avoid them, except in the direst necessity, and, if compelled, will use them only with the utmost restraint. Peace is his highest value. If the peace is shattered, how can he be content? His enemies are not demons, but human beings like himself. He doesn't wish them personal harm, nor does he rejoice in victory. How could he rejoice in victory and delight in the slaughter of men? He enters a battle gravely, with sorrow and with great compassion, as if he were attending a funeral. It's an excerpt from the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu. I would like you to close your eyes for a moment. Now, imagine that you are pixelated. Look at those pixels. Each one is a mini universe with a central sun spinning and interacting. Every single little part of you is this microcosm composed of microcosms. And within all of those little universes is space, black, pregnant, formless space. When one of those pixels is healthy, the sun is strong, the swirling pieces maintain their orbits, and there is a positive exchange with all other pixels surrounding it. When one of those pixels is unhealthy or diseased, the central sun is not strong and balanced. It is about to, or has already, imploded, creating a black hole that starts to grasp at anything and everything around it. It sucks and feeds and latches onto any form as the belief that what it needs exists without continues to grow. This little black hole is decomposing, going back to the pregnant, formless source. Yet it has forgotten that the only way to return to life is to build its inner core from within, not without. This energy it has been swept up into is also natural. Evil is simply live backwards. Think about it. For every reaction, there is an opposite and equal reaction. There is balance. So if your self microcosm of many multiple microcosms doesn't address the dis-ease and it spreads, there manifest illness in the whole. You begin to express symptoms that become louder and more insistent and soon cannot be covered up, dismissed, or ignored. The answers to healing, of course, always rest within yourself. The answers to your life are embedded within you, and you can tune in and listen to all of the signs your many microcosms are using to communicate with you. If a self microcosm does not heal from within, this larger microcosm itself becomes a black hole to all other selves around it. Now, imagine that you and everyone around you are actually universes, each with their own central sun spinning and interacting. If a self microcosm has become a black hole, still seeking from without, it will aim to provoke you into an agitated state of heightened emotion. This is an upswelling of energy. It is brilliant, strong, and powerful. If you react as designed, this self black hole will eagerly suck up that powerful energy, feeding on it in a desperate attempt to hold on to fixed form, to illusion. If your central sun is not strong and balanced, the more your energy can be manipulated, harnessed, and harvested by those who desire it. If, however, your core is strong, balanced, at rest in the nature of flux, your self microcosm can pass by a self black hole and not be affected because your core is so much stronger than their black hole. You remain in integrity no matter what you come across. This is how we coexist, and you can choose to become aligned with your core, finding that all you ever needed was within you already. Or you can choose to keep chasing after shadows, ignoring your own signs and symptoms. With respect to conflict, this is a part of life, as we are all unique expressions with differing parts that will clash and react and combust when coming across each other. You can view this objectively as simple energy reactions. Some are explosive, some are merely short bursts. Sometimes we perfectly meld. Sometimes our pixels dance in a simultaneous exchange and rejection of others. To know thyself is to know the universe as much as anyone can know it. If you know yourself, then you can observe how your microcosm is reacting to another's, and you can choose how you want to harness the energy response. If you don't understand this, you will be swayed constantly like a leaf in a violent windstorm, not knowing which way is up and which way is down, a victim to fate. The more aligned one becomes, the more one attracts both those who crave to feed off energy and those who want to dance with you and exchange in cooperation. The more aligned one becomes, the more you can choose where you allocate your energy to. This is the spirit of conflict. It is an integral part of life. You can always choose to greet an opponent as a challenge presented to you, asking you to rise into your best self or to devolve. Only you know what is your best self. That is your truth, your expression. The Tao states, express yourself completely, then keep quiet. Be like the forces of nature. When it blows, there is only wind. When it rains, there is only rain. When the clouds pass, the sun shines through. If you open yourself to the Tao, you are at one with the Tao, and you can embody it completely. If you open yourself to insight, you are at one with insight, and you can use it completely. If you open yourself to loss, you are at one with loss, and you can accept it completely. Open yourself to the Tao, then trust your natural responses, and everything will fall into place. We will never be able to put conflict to bed and live in a perfectly controlled, man made utopia that purports to be the peaceful paradise of our collective dreams. Conflict is merely interaction, it exists at all levels. As Nelson Mandela wrote at the end of his autobiography, I have walked that long road to freedom. I have tried not to falter. I have made missteps along the way. But I have discovered the secret that after climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. I have taken a moment here to rest, to steal a view of the glorious vista that surrounds me, to look back on the distance I have come. But I can rest only for a moment, for with freedom come responsibilities, and I dare not linger, for the long walk is not yet ended. I knew as well as anything that the oppressor must be liberated just as surely as the oppressed. A man who takes away another man's freedom is a prisoner of hatred. He is locked behind the bars of prejudice and narrow mindedness. I am not truly free if I am taking away someone else's freedom. Just as surely, I am not truly free when my freedom is taken from me. The oppressed and the oppressor alike are robbed of their humanity. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. The true test of our devotion to freedom is just beginning. The surest way to freedom is to choose to live your life aligned with your inner core, to realize that you have everything you need within you, that therein lies your wisdom and truth and guidance. Choose right now to follow your path to freedom, following your inner guidance, reflecting and amending your own actions based on your inner feedback. All we can truly know is how the feedback we receive resonates with us, and those resonances are our guides. Set an intention, pay attention, be fully present, and choose to foster thoughts, words, and actions that are aligned with what you want to manifest. If another comes across your path, a self black hole, you will not be affected and they will not be satisfied because you are beyond manipulation. Now you can interact gracefully with absolutely anyone and anything you come across. You no longer fear pain, no longer fear conflict, no longer fear death. You are aligned and unshakable, at rest in the Tao. Choose to free yourself, and you will be doing your part to free others. It will fall into place. And I will end with a final quote from the Tao. Empty your mind of all thoughts. Let your heart be at peace. Watch the turmoil of beings, but contemplate their return. Each separate being in the universe returns to the common source. Returning to the source is serenity. If you don't realize the source, you stumble in confusion and sorrow. When you realize where you come from, you naturally become tolerant, disinterested, amused, kind hearted as a grandmother, dignified as a king. Immersed in the wonder of the Tao, you can deal with whatever life brings you, and when death comes, you are ready. Thank you for listening.